Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and we're on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Well, today I wanted to make a couple of little bags to carry on the airplane when I go see Cathe for like projects and things. I really don't even know yet what my project's gonna be, but I thought, well, I'll make some little bags. I've been wanting to do that anyways. So I'm using her curated in color, and a lot of these are from cutoffs, and so I'm using what I have. Or they're just beautiful colors, beautiful. So I've decided to use a purple. I wanted to have a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to use this pretty purple zipper, and I'm going to use these as the zipper tabs. And then I wanted to add a little handle. So as this bag is in my carry-on, I can pull it out, you know, to use it. And I'm going to make two. I've got fabric for two. Today I may just make the one though. Okay, so since these were just, you know, cut off scraps, I did sew two together to make each panel. So this will be my outside panels. And then I sewed three together to make the lining. So that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be this with the lavender. Of course, you can absolutely match or coordinate your zipper. I wanted a contrast. And I also wanted to be able to use some really fun fabric of Cathe's, and so that's what I've chosen. Okay, so I have not made one of these before, and so I looked on YouTube to search just a little bag, and I found a roll. It seems simple. We'll see how it goes. I'm guinea pigging it right now. And so I'm just going to go step by step with you on what I'm going to do, and then I'll link the video that I watched in the description box. She does give some really great tips, and also she puts a padding in between her liner and her facing fabric. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is the zipper. I'm going to get it ready. Now, basically what you do is you measure the width of the bag that you're going to make. So mine is 13 inches, and so I'm going to cut the zipper. I'm going to cut it 1 inch smaller. So this is 12-inch from here to here. And so what I did was I just took my ruler and I measured 12 inches. Drew a line. Let's see if I can get it here. There we go. Drew a line and then stitch back and forth, back and forth. Make sure you pull your zipper down a little ways so you don't sew the zipper up in here. You don't want to do that. Okay, so then we're going to trim that off. Trim that off. Okay. I'll try to get a little bit better here. Whoops, that flew clear across the desk. All right, and then I'm going to put these on, and I'm just looking for which side I want to be face up, and I'm going to choose this side because I also had to stitch to make sure that this was big enough. These were big enough. See here, I added because I only had a smidgy of this beautiful violet color. So these little tabs are 2.5 by 2.5 squares, and that's just so that you have enough to kind of grip and sew. Oops. And so that's what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to sew across here. Just a straight stitch. I'm going to back it up a little ways because I want to give myself just a little bit of extra. All right. I hope everybody's doing well. I kind of got right into it, didn't I? I just wanted to get started on this, and I'm a little bit slightly nervous about it just because I've never done it before, and we may need to pause a few times while I figure out what I'm doing. And then I'll come back and tell you if that happens. Yeah, so these little tabs are 2.5 by 2.5, and then folded under, let me show you here. Didn't explain it very well, did I? Folded under, here's one that I'm going to use for the next one. 2.5 by 2.5, folded under a 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch there, and then folded in half like that. Okay. Oops, that's not where I want to go. I want to just kind of go down here. I'm going to trim that off a little bit. It just gives you a nice amount so you're not fiddling too much with it, you know. On each side gives you enough to kind of hold on to. Makes it a little bit easier for yourself. Okay, now I've written down some instructions over here so that I can try to help myself. I'll put my sewing machine over here for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to cut the excess fabric, but I'm going to leave just a little bit here, kind of where I started the stitching. Just a little extra. Yeah, these are not fabric scissors. They are everything scissors. Okay, now this is the part that might be a little bit tricky. Okay, so I need to, this is my front piece. So I lay that face up, and then I take my zipper with the right side down like this. Okay, did I do that right? Yeah, with about a 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, sorry about that. Bear with me here for a second. And then I'm going to lay the liner right side down on top. And then I'm going to sew all 3 of these edges. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip, just because I don't want, you know, any movement going on while I figure this whole thing out, you know. Oh, good grief. Okay, I got to scooch it down here a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, I think we're on a roll. The fiddly part is the pinning or clipping, you know, but it's worth it for me anyways, because although this is simple, what a headache that is when something slips and you have to take out the rest of it and realign, and I can't tell you how many times that's happened. Make sure that's straight, even though I have a little poking out. That's that little extra we left. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to just sew right down there. Now I'll pause just real quick so that every time I sew, this video doesn't go into like 6 hours or something. Okay, 1 second. I'll sew it real quick. Okay, I'm back again just really quick because I wanted to point something out. Okay, so we have our zipper in here, and see, I don't know if you can see here. Let me see if I can get it closer. Do you see where the zipper is right here? Okay. So I left it open a little bit so that I could sew. And so now I'm going to make sure my needle is all the way down. And I'm going to lift my presser foot. And now I'm going to zip it back up to get it out of the way so that I can have a nice clean 1/4 inch here. So now I can finish sewing without having that bulk of that zipper pull in there. Okay, I just wanted to show you that, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I stitched that, and then what I did was I pressed it open. You can see here, I pressed it up against the zipper. And I think you could probably at some point, I don't know, have to wait and see how it would go to top stitch. I don't know that you could at this point yet. Okay, so then the next point is to attach it to the other side. So I'm going to use, this is my outside, and I'm going to lay it face up, and I'm going to put it upside down because I'm now going to lay this one on top. So I want my two outsides together. And so I want the tops together. And I can see already that I did not cut cut that extremely straight. But I do want to kind of get it with the sides of my original one, and then make sure the zipper's in there. And then so now you'll see from my first one that's attached to the zipper. So here's the liner. So now I'm going to take the liner for the other side, and I'm going to put it face down. Okay, so we're aligning everything to up here. Oh, I need to go back to, I'm so sorry. Okay, I don't know if you could see that. Let me do that again. Okay, so here's the one that I did, and I ironed it, right? I ironed it away from the zipper so it would be nice and clean. Here is the other side of the outside of my bag. So I laid it print side up, and then I'm going to lay this one on top with the zipper at the edge, you know, at the edge of the fabric, and then I'll line up my sides here. Okay. Now this is my liner. So now I'm going to put my liner right sides together. And again, I'm going to bring it up to the top. Okay. Sorry, just want to adjust that just a smidgy under there. Remember, there's a 1/2 inch on each side of the zipper. So just want to make sure all my sides are even. Okay, I'll put this one down, and then I'm going to go ahead and clip it, and I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to press it just like I did the first one. And then I will be right back. All right, hold tight. Okay, I'm back. So this is the way it looks right now. Both sides. Pressed and zipper in. I'm not going to lie, I did have to take out a little bit right here because when I pulled that zipper down to stitch, I didn't pull it far enough. And so when I got I guess I got too close to it sewing, and it kind of bubbled out. And so basically I would say pull it down and then just go a little ways. Don't even get close to it. Then put your needle down and then zipper back up. So, okay. Lesson learned. By the way, this is not a tutorial. I will put the tutorial link in the description box that I followed. Okay. All right. So here is some fabric that is in this collection from Cathe Holden, curated in color. And basically what I thought I would do is put a little handle here so that I can pull it out of my travel bag. Okay, so to do that, I need to grab my pin cushion. Hold on one moment, please. Okay, hopefully I won't jiggle you too bad. Okay, so here's this. So I'm gonna put it at the top. So I'm gonna assume that my zipper is gonna be at the top, you know. And I just want to, let's see. I only want to do it on the I don't want to attach the liner. So I'm just going to put a pin here. Let's see. Kind of want to be in the middle. I'm eyeballing. Well, I want to go down here because I don't want to get caught while I'm sewing. Make sure I'm straight. Okay. And I don't need very much. It's not that I'm going to use it like a purse handle. It's just going to be a grab handle. And I'm only going to put it on one side. Okay, that's fine. This part will cut off. Okay, next. So then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put these outside panels together and clip them. And I'm going to put the inside panels together and clip them. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little hole to turn. Oh, one important thing is bring your zipper to the middle. If you do make one of these and then you go a few weeks and don't make one, make yourself a note to do that, because that's gonna be helpful for your turning. Okay, let's clip everybody together here. Let's see. Not sure how that, I'll clip this side first. I'm not sure how that zipper is laying. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna check and see what I do about that zipper, so I'll be right back. Okay, all right, so I figured it out. So remember when I was looking at my notes and it said to put the zipper a 1/2 inch down, put the tab a 1/2 inch down. That's to allow for that seam allowance to come across. On this one, I don't have that much, so we'll see what happens. I may have to do some adjustments. Sometimes you don't understand the construction, the instructions to the construction of something until you actually make it. You know, you try to follow along, but you don't understand. Like me, I don't understand sometimes what the need is of it. And then once I make it, then I see, okay, I understand why that is, and I need to make sure that's like a priority. Like as far as like that 1/2 inch, it's not just something that is there for ease. It's there. It is there for ease. So I'm gonna cut this off. It's not there just to be one of those things like, oh, just leave a 1/2 inch, you know. It actually serves a purpose. Okay. So these guys, these little tabs, pardon me, oh my goodness. These little tabs that I'm putting in for, you know, the handle. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Those, oh my gosh, out of film, out of camera view. I want them to be straight out. I don't want them to be at an angle. So I need to make sure I clip that real good. Okay. Then I'm just going to come around this way. Make sure everybody's nice and even here. This may be a little bit of a cluster. Okay, I'll leave that. All right, let's go around to this side here. Okay. Just want to try to get it as nice and flat as possible. I can see where I've shifted the fabric a little bit. So I just want to make sure I keep getting that even, and then give her the clip, give it the clamp down. Now, obviously, this would be so much easier if you just had one piece of fabric and you didn't have all these different little seams and all of that. But this is just the way it is because I wanted to make sure I use this and I only had these scraps. So, okay, so I'm going to sew and leave a opening to get my hand in there and turn it. And what I like to do when I do a start stop opening is I like to put double pins, and that indicates to me that this is a no sew zone. Because if you're like me when you sew, I get in my mind and I just start daydreaming, and so if I don't have myself, you know, something to tell me, start here, end here, I'll sew right through it. Okay, I'm gonna sew. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew all the way around like a pillowcase. I'm gonna leave this open. All right, I'll be right. So all the way around, I'll leave this open. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was a little bit uneventful, so that was great. No big hiccups. So I've already clipped the other two corners. I'm just going to clip these corners. Try to get kind of close, just not too close to where you snip your stitch. So I kind of put my thumb there as a, you know, kind of as a guard. Here's my start stop, and I back stitched at each one. Okay, so I'll tell you where I'm a little nervous about this. At that zipper, you know, because I didn't have completely, oh, I do want to trim these. I didn't completely have the 1/2 inch, and I kind of have a feeling I got that caught in there, but let's just see, and then maybe pull that out first and just see if that's going to be trouble. Can't tell. If it's trouble, I may go back in, take that out, and just redo that part, but I won't do that on camera because I have a feeling you're not going to make that same mistake. So you don't need to see me take it out and redo. Okay. Before I poke all the corners and all of that, let me take these out. These pins out. I've already poked myself once. Before I poke out the corners and all, I'm just going to see how this looks. So then this will go inside here like that. give it, hold on, I'm just going to give it a little shake over here. Okay, so I just want to see if this is going to be unbearable to live with. It's not super smooth, you can see that. Has a little bit of a pucker there, but I do think I can live with it. This one's pretty good. I do think I can live with that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I do want to go in and I'm going to just use my bone folder and I'm just going to go inside here and well, no, I guess before I do that, I need to sew this. Yeah, I need to sew this up. I don't want something falling through there. Okay. All right. I am just going to sew that on the machine and try to get it as flat as possible. And I'm just going to stitch it on the machine. Again, because this is just going to be for me and it's just a bag that I'm going to use for you know, as a project bag. If I was going to give it as a gift, I probably would hand stitch it, and I would probably do it twice just to, because it's on the bottom, you know. Okay. All right, let me just do that real quick. I'll pause. I'm just going straight across. One moment, please. Okay. Now, ideally, you would do it in a matching color, but not me. All right, so I'm going to put this down in here, and I'm going to, you know, work out these corners, and I'm going to use my bone folder. You probably, you know, some of you may have like one of those corner tools. I've also used a chopstick. If I can get it here. Another thing that you can do is take a pin and just kind of pull it out a little bit. I don't want to do it too much because remember I clipped the corners, and so I don't want to put too much stress on them, but that kind of does give it a nice square corner when you do it like that. Just be careful. All right, so there she is, zip. And so it'll be in my carry bag, and then when I want to pull it out, I can just pull it out. I like it. Now I think I'll make another one while it's fresh on my mind, and I think it'll go a little bit quicker.